Sam Darnold has a chance to lead the Seahawks to the playoffs. The draft will dictate a lot of this with 2 second-round picks, 2 third-round picks,
you know what that means?
And a first-round pick. But Sam Darnold, you look at the numbers after Week 9 when Christian Darrisaw got hurt due to injury and Cam Robinson had to play. The Vikings' pass protecting offensive line last year was not good. The interior, there's a reason why they overhauled it. It was very bad. The Vikings' pressure rate was worse than the Seahawks. It was 10% to 9%. Not that much of a difference after Week 9. Darnold, after Week 9, had 18 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, a 98 passer rating. He threw for the most yards under pressure of any quarterback in the NFL. Against the blitz, he had 14 touchdowns, 1 interception, and a 126.3 passer rating. Sam Darnold was really good, and I know that...
Who was his play caller?
KOC, and this is the thing.
Who was his number one?
Good old Clint Kubiak.
Well, Clint Kubiak with Derek Carr, 15 touchdowns, 5 interceptions.
So you're in.
Passer rating. Yes, I think Sam Darnold's going to play well.
Who had 15?
No, he's saying Derek Carr.
Oh.
He played 10 games.
Oh,
yeah, he played 10 games.
Shit.
Yeah.
So Clint, for a season.
And Clint Kubiak, you trust.
And Clint Kubiak,
those first couple of weeks were electric.
Clint Kubiak is coming from the West Coast offensive scheme.
I have faith in Clint, or kind of not blind, but like, you know,
he showed some
sort of blind
with a single.
Me without glasses, kind of vibe.
All right, if that's the
Clint
case,
Kubiak's not bad.
All right, that's barely a human.
Barely.
Wait. Clint Kubiak was on the Saints last year.
He was the Saints.
Wasn't their first 2 games inflated as fuck because they played the Panthers and the Cowboys?
Yeah, but they were also healthy. They had so many injuries. Quarterback got hurt.
So is that
center
like,
got
so
hurt,
is there like a
receivers
middle
got
ground
hurt.
here where you played some pretty shit ass?
But I like what he was doing.
You guys when you guys
a lot of
weren't
play
that
action.
We
good.
locked them.
This is Clint Kubiak's
Locked
second
the fuck
stint
out of them,
as an OC. Clint Kubiak was an OC with the Vikings with Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins had one of the best statistical seasons of his career.
Talk to me.
With the Saints. With the Saints, he was a good play caller. There were some games where Derek Carr didn't have Shaheed or Chris Olave, and MVS was doing his thing. You know, their offensive line was so bad, and the Seahawks' offensive line is bad too. So obviously, that's why in the draft they have to use their first couple of picks to overhaul it. I think Charles Cross at left tackle is solid. Abraham Lucas was healthy down the stretch of last year. I think that's your right tackle, and then after that, the interior of the offensive line you have to improve, but JSN is there. I think JSN is a great receiver who can enter the elite mark after next season. He's amazing.
What's the difference between the Texans and the Seahawks?
No. What is the difference?
It's not that much. Well, Nico Collins is just that's probably.
I feel like they're similar, but the Texans have a better defense.
But I think the Seahawks now have a better offensive line because of their left tackle play.
Fair. I mean, they both need to overhaul the offensive line. So really, whoever is on their draft.
I mean, Charles Cross is good. It didn't help them too much.
Well, that side at least was not like the liability. Like everywhere else in the interior,
that's like Laramie Tunsil last year.
Yeah, but when I look at the Seahawks,
go ahead,
I look at Sam Darnold and how well he played. And this is the thing, and this is where we can acknowledge a couple things.
I'm ready.
The Vikings were a great situation
100%.
that a ton of quarterbacks would succeed in. We also saw Sam Darnold all year long waiting for him to fold, and he folded at the very end, the last 2 games of the season. But before that, Sam Darnold was phenomenal, and he made plays on his own that went above and beyond the scheme. He made high-level throws. He made high-level plays. He was top 5 in big-time throws.
I just wish I cared. I wish I.
Do you think? I think Sam will be. He'll not be what he was in Minnesota, but I don't think he's going to be a bum.
We have to grade the Seahawks on a bit of a curve just because Geno Smith did not want to re-sign there. That's why they traded him.
I thought he
got the contract that they gave Sam.
Correct.
But Geno might get $40 million.
Yeah, so I just think Seattle probably wasn't willing to maybe dish out that contract.
And I understand.
And I think Sam Darnold could give you similar production. And if you have a good offensive line in front of him, you spend that money elsewhere. I mean, they signed DeMarcus Lawrence too. He's not the same pass rusher he once was, but he's one of the best run-stopping defensive ends in the league right now.
The defense.
Their defense is going to be a top 10 defense in the league.
I agree.
Yep.
If they can just get production from their offense, which, a top 20 offense, this could be a wild card team. And if
top 20 offense, the floor is so low.
Yeah, but still, when you have like a top 5 defense and you have that level of offense, you can kind of get away with the Texans they had the 18th ranked offense this past year. Yeah, so when you have that level of defense, you can get away with
AFC South and
yeah, the NFC West is going to definitely be more tough. I see both sides with Sam though. I see the version where Sam works out just because you are getting a younger, not that he's the same quarterback as Geno Smith, but you're getting a younger version of Geno Smith, a guy that is probably a bit more mobile.
And the poor man's
poor man's Joe Burrow.
Like, what else
some
were they
would
going to
say.
do? Like, if the Seahawks didn't sign Sam, they were drafting Jackson Dart.
No,
in the
I think
first
getting
round.
Sam was the only move. They were kind of backed into a corner at that point. If Gino wants 40+ million, I understand wanting to move off him. I see the world where Clint Kubiak is a good play caller, and you have JSN and you have Kenneth Walker, but it all depends on this offensive line. Because if they hit on 2 of their offensive linemen and all of a sudden, you have half the offensive line like, oh shit, this is decent now, Sam will be able to work out. But if you don't hit on those draft picks and Clint Kubiak isn't anywhere close to KOC and JSN doesn't have a wide receiver 2 next to him so teams can just double him and Kenneth Walker can run the ball, and Sam's not going to be able to do much.
I like the
I see
MVS
both
signing.
worlds. MVS is a good signing.
He's played solid for the Saints down the stretch. I'll say this.
All he needs to do is run down the field.
That's all he does.
That's all he needs to do.
You cannot throw away essentially an entire regular season. I say entire regular season because Week 18 was a regular season. You can't throw it all away off of 2 games. I will say those 2 games were arguably 2 of the worst of his career.
Yeah, those games cost him getting $45 million a year.
Those 2 games cost him potentially
Running it back.
getting JJ traded off the team.
Yeah, those 2 games cost him a lot. I think he was very rattled. I will say the Lions game rattled on him 100%.
Rams got great
The
pressure.
Rams game, it was kind of like, holy motherfucking shit. What the hell is he supposed to do?
Yeah,
Now,
no, he was
Sean
pressured
McVay
constantly.
drastically outcoached Kevin O'Connell like very few coaches have.
Yeah, so that's why I think, the Seahawks, when you think about it, trading DK for a second, trading Geno for a third, and not having to pay them both combined 70 to 80 million, and then just pivoting, I think they still remain competitive, and they have some avenues to maybe, if they hit on some things, they're
Listen,
good.
man.
That's
Last
some Miami
time
Heat
they
shit
made this
Yeah.
type, I wouldn't say this type of move because it's more drastic, but when they traded Russ, everyone kind of looked around like, are you dead ass? Russ is like a borderline top 5 quarterback when he's right, and you traded him at the right time because you got 2 firsts. He ended up not being able to do anything after that. So
Charles Cross is a bum.